Hardcore J-Dog ACG Payback. I'm coming to show you rock, paper, scissors, or as I call it, feint, strike, parry, strike. Now, some of them will make it complicated by naming the one button as a strike or something like that. Where if you've only got one button to select, why would I need to tell you to select that button? So we're going to call that one option button slash. So you're gonna basically when you're choosing from three, first one's gonna be feint, then strike, then parry, then strike. If you include the slashes, it's feint slash strike slash parry slash strike slash, and it should work out immediate evenly if you've done it perfectly. Meaning that every round should begin with feint and end with strike. So this would be the slash. You see how there's nothing else to choose from, so why would I tell you to... Anyways, this is strike, slash, parry, slash, strike.
I've never seen a California compliant gun in the hands of a criminal myself. Right? So
see, perfect. Bang.
Yeah,
no.
The idea that you're just going to get to count law-abiding citizens, and that's going to somehow or another save lives in mass shootings. And here's the other thing about you, and I'm waiting for this to happen, but it's just not happening. They're never addressing people using psychotropic drugs. They don't address that. All those school shooters, all those mass shooters are all on drugs. Yeah. They're all on some kind of psych drugs. And there's no mention of it whatsoever. Like, what is the action of these things? It's all about the guns. Yeah. And the guns are a huge issue. I mean, the fact that these people who are fucked up, and that they have access and they can get access to these guns,
perfect.
And they can wind up shooting people. Yes, that is one issue. Security is another issue. There's another issue, and that's mental health. And that to me is the biggest one, because without the mental health issue, you don't get mass shooters. And that's an interesting thing we took when I get people in conversations about the violence in Mexico, and perspective. Mexico cartel guys, go into a town, shoot up a bunch of people, and it's pretty horrible. But on the Mexican side, we only had one school shooting.
They're asking again for it to be returned.
Right, and it was mentally.
Then you can get them the same amount of time.
Right. And as Mexicans, we look at what happens
to
in the
find
U.S.
words for my grief, Odysseus.
Completely horrific.
Paint pictures of my rage, and tell them they'll get no body from me.
Just trying to figure things. What about pharmaceuticals being prescribed to children in Mexico? Is it similar? Not at all. I mean, we're still behind in some instances as far as, I didn't know about PTSD until I came up here, or TBI, right? Really? Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. When did you learn about TBI? When I started talking about... We should say what that is. Post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injuries for people like
I learned about
kids.
I learned about it from talking to most of my Marine friends that were coming back from... They're like, hey, Hedwig, you're describing that your feeling sounds like TBI. Really? Yeah. You should get yourself checked out. And then you go down there and things would happen and people would get, get a few days off, take a few shots of tequila, you're fine. Get back at it.
Well, that's the old school mentality. I mean, that's what they had to deal with in World War II and Vietnam. And
yeah. But you've got...
perfect.
When it comes to that. But mental health down in Mexico, there's like... It's not anywhere as far as medicating it. Kids.
Okay, so the next one.
With things like autism. Autism is a thing that I only recently kind of heard about 15 years ago.
In Mexico?
It's going to be, now that Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's unlocked, Relic 7, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, 6 Zetas, 1 Ultimate, Relic 7, 2 Zeta Kylo Ren Unmasked, Relic 7, Zeta Sith Trooper, Relic 7, Zeta General Hux, Relic 5, First Order Officer. And this is the team I'm going to use from the end. So for the first part, it's Crew, SF, Executioner, Hux, Sith Trooper. In the last half, it's SLKR, Crew, Sith Trooper, Hux, FOO.
Just to alter their state. And a doctor will prescribe it to them, and then the pharmaceutical drug companies are just raking in the cash from it, so it just becomes a part of reality.
What you want to do, the only thing you really need to do in terms of mods is make sure that after Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, General Hux goes, and then the First Order Officer goes.
I want you to lead the army. Some people would go to Oaxaca and go on mushroom trips, like some of the veteran guys that would go through whatever. There's a place in Oaxaca in America where they go up to the hills and get some of those. They call them meladas, which is like basically these mushrooms and take them and then come back apparently fixed. Some of them. That was like the story. You know? It was pretty good for them to work those things out.
Well, John Hopkins they're doing studies on psilocybin.
Kick
There's
the
been
shit
studies
out of
done
her there.
with troops with PTSD, and that they've found that it does help them. MDMA is
And the event ability is not really something that you need to use until the last tier.
Yeah, like remember the Beatles and
No, I could have used my ultimate, but that wouldn't help you guys, so I'm not gonna.
They found out about it was a Life magazine article from the 1950s that was one of the first really mainstream.
So if you're gonna do this and you don't have a bunch of Zetas, I would say the best Zetas to do, if you only have two, it's if you only have one, it's Stasis Strike. If you have two, Stasis Strike and the basic. And then if you only have three, it's the basic, Stasis Strike, and the lead. And then if you have four, it's the basic, both specials, and the lead. And then again, one of the uniques, and then the
Yeah,
second
so this was
unique.
Seeking the Magic Mushroom, and I believe this was, what year was this, Jamie?
See, it's all about passing turns
think it's
back
in
to
the
Supreme
50s.
Leader Kylo Ren.
1957. So
Yeah, okay.
Maria
There you go.
Sabina left a whole legacy of that in Mexico. And she had a lot of people that learned from her, and a lot of these people are all over Mexico doing, healing and spiritual work.
Well, that's the other thing about Mexico. Mexico has some, you have some freedom. Like my friend Ed Clay, he had a ibogaine retreat down there where people would go to get off of pills.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the iboga is one of the best ways to get off of particularly opiates.
Yeah. There's enforcement is hard in a country like Mexico, so you're not going to have people trying to go inspect things in some of these parts. So that's why there's a lot of places like that. You still to this day you can go to places like Oaxaca where technically that's taking mushrooms legal, but they go on the hillsides.
Didn't they kind of like decriminalize a lot of different things down there
For personal quantities now, man.
So the next one, I'm gonna go from 3 stars to 1 star. So now, when Rey hits that tier 5, and my Kylo Ren, like I said, he's got his ultimate and he's got all 6 Zetas. On both Zetas, Relic 7, Crew, both Zetas, Relic 7, Sith Trooper. I mean, 1 Zeta, Relic 7, Sith Trooper, Zeta, Relic 7, Hux, Relic 5, First Order Officer. So first thing, pass back over to SLKR, then pass back over to SLKR, stun both Finn and Poe.
I am alone.
And then until you're losing your first ally, you don't have to worry about the event ability.
Death cult down there. They do that to kind of initiate people into it, but it's mushrooms. They take mushrooms. There's a bunch of weird stuff that goes down there as far as the use of psychotropics like mushrooms and other things to put people in that mindset of accepting a very specific date.
You shouldn't have to see this.
Yeah.
So let's get back to what's fucked up.
Okay,
I always
so
like to talk to people that are.
now we're gonna start passing the turns back to Kylo Ren.
Obviously, I've been here my whole life. I'm used to
With
it.
this one, you don't need
And
to
I'm
do
third
it.
generation.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my parents were second generation. My grandparents came over here. So it's all, I'm ingrained. I'm in the system. I'm blind. What else is fucked up about this place?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I travel around,
See
I
how
get to
he's
see
just
different
dead?
parts of America.
Because what I've been doing is through the states of strike, I've been stacking siphon.
You're one of the good Mexicans.
So
You're one of the good ones. I won't say what those parts of the country are, but I've gotten some of that.
The United States is
although
almost
my
like
ultimate's
Europe, where
queued
like there's
up, I'm
all
not
these
gonna
different
use it.
countries, except they all speak the same language. You know, like Europe has France, and they have Germany, and you go over there, there's this one, and there's Sweden, and it's all in this fucking big landmass. But the United States' landmass is contiguous, and they all speak the same language. But if you want to tell me that Montana is the same as Florida, you're out of your fucking mind.
Well, I take those comments in stride,
So you're a good Mexican?
I mean, being racist, kind of racial like that, and just messing with each other is Mexicans do that all the time, right? So I take it in stride. It's fascinating to me that people are second generation Mexicans up here taking offense to something like that. Somebody say, "Hey, you're one of the good Mexicans." Yeah. Whatever. It's to me, it's like a thing. I take it in
Well,
stride.
the easier things get, the more people get quickly
You don't
offended.
leave before it's light.
That's
I
a
mean,
fact.
the hard times produce.
I know it looks like I'm gonna lose, right?
Soft times produce
See?
sweet men.
Look at all that energy that just took off.
See some softness in a lot of the society, and a lot of
Look
feelings
at
get
that.
hurt.
She's dead.
Having to watch what I say as far as
Yeah, I'm gonna lose.
I always tell this to people. First off, I'm from Mexico. I come from a Mexican education system.
And that's it, basically. You do that 10 times, you got yourself an ultimate. Please like, sub, and try to watch as many of my videos, even if it's just a couple seconds. I'm not monetized, so I really need the likes. Please, with 10 cherries on top.
That's hilarious. You're teaching
Hook
security
it up with
guards
the
and
likes.
bodyguards, and you have to worry about being offended.
Every now and then you get somebody, you said something.
Oh, Christ, you fucking babies.
Yeah, so never read the comment section. Never stay behind and talk to people, especially if they look like they want to speak to the manager.
Oh, did you get that when you teach class?
Every now and then. I get